Hey YouTubers, this is Richard with you again for this week's Gravekeeper deck profile. It's going to be a little different from last week's. You'll see as we get into it, but let's start with the obvious. Go ahead, my monster lineup. Still running 3 Commandants. Still running 3 Spies. Still running 3 Recruiters. I've been considering moving it down to 2 Recruiters, but not as of yet. Still running 2 Descendant. Bumped it down to only 2 of the Heretic. And still with 1 Assailant and 1 of the Gravekeeper Shaman for a 15 monster lineup. And so next we're going to move on to the spells. And we're starting it off with the triple Necro Valley. Double Stele, 1 Royal Tribute for the Royal Pyramid, and I'm sticking with Magical Dimension because this card has just been really useful in this deck. Still have only 2 Mystical Space Typhoons in here, only running 2 Pots of Duality, and sticking with 1 Dark Hole and 1 Book of Moon, and that's going to do it for my spells. Next for the traps, I'm still only running 1 Rite of Spirit. Bumped it up to 3 of the Imperial Tombs of the Necro Valley. Might change this back to 2, but we're going to run it at 3 tonight at locals. Got 2 Fiendish Chain is still. I want to bump it up to 3. 2 Mirror Forces. 1 Black Horn of Heaven, while I don't have the Fiendish Chain. Still sticking with Starlight Road for the first game main. Bottomless Trap Hole, Torrential Tribute, Solemn Warning, and Compulsory Evacuation Device to end the main deck. And that has been narrowed down to 42 cards. I eliminated Dimension Slice from the main altogether. I was finding that I couldn't really get Dimension Slice off a lot against better opponents because they just would not let me get my Spy special summons off. And I really haven't been going into my extra deck a lot lately, but here's my extra deck coming up. And we're going to start with the Stardust Dragon. Still running 1 Ally of Justice Catastor. He actually won me a game a few nights back. Silent Honor Arc, number 101 Silent Honor Arc. Best card in my extra deck probably. Gemnite Pearl. I have 2 Master Key Beetles. 1 Gaga Cowboy for the win condition. Diamond Direwolf. Photon Pap, which is just extremely good card. Evil Swarm Nightmare. Number 39 Utopia. Crazy Box for Skill Drain and Shadow Imprisoning Mirror. Number 50 Black Ship of Corn. Maystroke. And the Steel Swarm Roach is going to do it for my extra deck. But like I said, I haven't really been going into my extra deck a lot lately. Mostly the Master Key Beetle and Silent Honor Arc gets some attention sometimes, and Gaga Cowboy always. But here's going to be my side deck, starting with my side monsters. I have the Effect Veiler, 1 Fossil Dyna this week, Thunder King Ryo, Gravekeeper's Oracle, Gravekeeper Watcher. This card actually helped me beat Mermails last week at locals. I added the Malefic Stardust Dragon in lieu of the 2nd Fossil Dyna. And this is to protect Necro Valley even further. It's just a really good monster. Trap-sided, I have Overworked. I have a Deck Devastation Virus. Dimension Slice is going to be replaced with a Skill Drain. But right now it's Dimension Slice, but you can think of that as a Skill Drain. 1 Light Imprisoning Mirror. 1 Cursed Seal of the Forbidden Spell. This card actually won my matchup single-handedly against Prophecy Spellbooks last week at locals. The guy, I first turned for Curse of the Forbidden Spell with a Mystical Space Typhoon in my hand, and I knew that he was going to use Spellbook of Secrets on his first turn. And sure enough, it was the first play he made, and because I went first in the second game, I was immediately able to play this card to lock it down, and he was not happy at all about it. But this card can really help against Prophecy Spellbook because they can't use Secrets again for the rest of the duel, and it really helps against Fire Fist and Tenki because they recycle that card a lot and it gets used a lot. So just keep that in mind for Fire Fist and Spellbook. I'm siding an extra Rite of Spirit this week, Forbidden Lance, the Book of Taiyu. This is to activate my spy as soon as I set it on the field. And this is a Wonder Wand for draw power and recruiter combos. And that's it for the deck profile this week, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below about my Gravekeeper deck profile. If you like the changes I made from last week and any suggestions you might give me for next week. This is Richard, signing off.